Hey guys, this is Mike Ouellette here at Area 51 Alien Factory, back at you with a quick video. This video is a short from our weekly podcast that happened this past Sunday. Tune in each and every week for our podcast Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on our YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/Area 51 Alien Factory. And if you have not done so yet, I just ask you, please go down below the video and subscribe, hit the subscribe button. It's much appreciated. And if you really want to help the channel, the best thing you can do is to share these videos any place you can on Facebook, Twitter, Discord, anywhere that you can share the video. We would much appreciate it. That's really going to help our channel grow. And to get notified anytime we go live with our podcast or live streams and races, or even our great on-demand content we put up here on the channel, hit that bell notification icon. You will get notified each and every time new content goes up here on the Alien Factory YouTube channel. So enjoy this short. It is a great interview that we had with Mike Ouellette from Major's Garage, and just sit back and enjoy this interview. You'll find it very interesting and informative, and give you an in-depth look at the way things are done over at Major's Garage. So I know, Mike, I'm glad we got you with you. I know there's a subject that you and I want to talk about, and the reason why I brought you on here at the end of the podcast, because I like to take our guests and kind of focus on that subject at the end. But before that, I know Tracy loves to get to know the people we bring on and put a face behind, or what is it you say, the face behind the place?
Yeah, it's a segment we have. It's called The Face That Runs the Place.
There you go. I knew I butchered it.
Yeah, that's all right. That's where we're going to start with you, Mike. Once again, and we're going to beat this to death, thanks for coming to the Alien Factory. We appreciate you being here, taking time out of your day to help us with our podcasts and our viewers, so we can be more informative. And then that way people get to know who's out there, right? They see the product, they see the business, they see the setup shops, whatever, but nobody knows anything about them. There's no depth to them, right? And all we're trying to do is bring that to the surface. So obviously it's the people behind the business. So our first segment with you, Mike, is going to be, like I say, the face that runs the place. Now, my question to you is, how did you get started in sim racing or racing in general? What attracted you to this? How long have you been doing it? What's your first pedals and wheel combination? Give us a history about you. What do you want people to know about you specifically?
My start in sim racing or racing is pretty tame, pretty boring, to be honest with you. You don't come from a racing background, but in the late 90s, so it's been a while, but I was not young even then. But in the late 90s, I really got into NASCAR, really, really loved it, and started sim racing, with the old, NASCAR titles, the Pirates ones. And
yes, that was an excellent time there. I remember that. That's how
it was, yeah, and just fell in love with it.
Yep.
I became a big time lurker in the U.S. Pits forums. I don't know how many of you guys remember them, but and then when iRacing was starting up, there was a big faction of the community, and I would have had to consider myself a part of that faction at the time that really hated iRacing, just from a conceptual perspective. But when I joined iRacing in 2008, I guess 2009, that all changed.
Are you a founding member? Are you one of the founding?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't in the beta, but I was I was shortly after, very shortly after. And I remember the very first time I jumped in the Legends race. That was the rookie class back then. I was hooked immediately, because that was you couldn't find that anywhere else. It was the first time ever, for those of us who were sort of in at the beginning, that you could just jump into a lobby with people who were of similar skill and have a race. It was incredible. I couldn't stop. My heart was beating so fast. I was sweating, and I was hooked immediately. So I've been with iRacing ever since. In between iRacing and those Papyrus titles, did the original R Factor, and
yes, I did that too.
Even a little bit, and we all the not NASCAR, but the oval mods they had. I forget, they had weird names for the cars, but it was fun. It was still fun nonetheless. But then once iRacing came around, I was fully hooked. So, but in all fairness, I've never been good. I've been fair to middling at best, and that's probably being overly generous to myself as far as sim racing is concerned.
So, what's your favorite? Do you like the NASCAR part of it? I know your business is in every aspect of it, but what you personally, if you sit down at night, what do you like getting into and driving that just takes you away?
Yeah, I mean, I do like to hot lap in anything, but as far as racing is concerned, it's always short oval or dirt
Okay.
oval. And actually, I
Okay.
like rallycross a lot too. So those are the races I run the most on. I'll run a little bit of trucks, but give me a late model, give me a super late model, give me anything
All
on
right.
the dirt, and I'm happy.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this now. Since you've been almost a founding member, we'll say you are. I mean, 2008. That's been a while ago. What changes have you seen in iRacing that you remember,
Sure.
and that are here today, or you like better, or you like worse? I mean, for those of us that haven't been into iRacing, that long, I've only been in it since 2014, and I went through one major change. But what have you seen since the beginning or the inception of iRacing to where it is today? What have you noticed in change wise?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the fun part about iRacing is that it's, every 3 months we get something new or a bunch of stuff new. And whether it was, day to night was huge, huge, huge. The team racing was probably, in my opinion, the biggest release, the biggest feature release they ever did. And they did that one really well. Obviously, all the content, when we first started, you ran late models and then you ran legends and then you moved up to late models, and that was really what there was on oval.
Now, did it
And then
take you a long time to say get your AA license? Because it seems
Yeah.
like everybody fast tracks anymore.
Well, that didn't exist back then. So I am one of those old curmudgeons that say, we shouldn't have the fast track. I actually like I hate the fact that you can grind SR in time trials. I don't think a lot of people do that, but I still hate it. And I wish you had to run whole seasons to up your license. And again, I understand business wise why they don't do that. Everybody wants to get in and run NASCAR right away. They don't want to spend all the time
Sell content too
in street stocks or legends or whatever. But anyway, I thought it was good. But I'm also not one of those people that says, the racing was so much better back in the day. It wasn't. There's you're gonna have good races and bad races. I think Scott was saying it's luck of the draw, right? When you get into those races. So you're going to have great races that have 0 cautions and wish you had a caution. And you're going to have horrible races that have 15 cautions. And that existed back then and it exists today. But yeah, every 3 months you get something new, and that's really what it is. Right now, we're all waiting with bated breath for rain, and I'm super stoked for that to happen.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So now, is there anything else you want to add equipment-wise, what you run, what kind of toys you have at home?
Yeah, pretty basic stuff. I have a Thrustmaster TX with their pedals. So real simple. I don't do much racing anymore, to be honest. I race in my league a little bit, but I might do. If you looked at my profile, you might see 4 or 5 official races this calendar year so far.
Now, Mr. Excitement, last week we were comparing rigs, okay? and I'm afraid Ken Byron's got us by a ton.
Oh my goodness! Did you see that, Mike?
We're going to need a picture. We're going to need a picture of your rig so we can compare it. All right, we're going to put it on our wall, and go that route. But yeah, so we need a picture of your rig.
Okay.
And so all right, from there. Now I'm curious. So now I'm going to segue more into your business side. Share that with us. What made you decide to go from iRacer to iRacing guru with a setup garage that does everything under the sun? I mean, every time I talk to Mr. Excitement, he's telling me about all the new stuff you got coming out. He's got to sit on his hands and keep from waving to everybody. He's so excited every week. I can't believe it. It's like, I got this new email. And he's going into it in depth. It's like, slow down, Chief. Take a breath. Let me know what's going on here. So from your side, tell us, how did you get from where you started to where you are? Let us know. I'm curious.
Yeah. So certainly a different path than most setup shop owners. Obviously, I think most guys start shops because they're really good racers and they build their own setups and they find that there's a need for that. So I think that's the common path, and that's perfectly great. Not me at all. You wouldn't want to buy a setup from me personally. I can assure you that would be a bad idea.
So you're not considered a builder then?
Not whatsoever. You would not want me touching them.
All right.
So we'll just make full disclosure there. No, my background in iRacing is really, you sort of know early on if you're good or not. maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. I knew right away I wasn't good. Like I said, I was okay. I had fun at it. I enjoy it, but I'm not good. But you find things you are good at. And some people get into broadcasting, and some people get into coaching, and some people get into whatever. But I'm good at running series. I'm a race director at heart, really. And so in 2012, I took over the World Cup of iRacing from iRacing. They were going to stop doing it altogether. And I talked to Tony Gardner. I said, hey, we cannot let this die. I said, let me take it over. And I totally thought he was going to say no. But he said, yes, go ahead. And so I got a team together, and we ran that for 7 years, from 2012 to 2019. So super cool event. I still love it to this day. We had, a couple thousand people usually participate each year. I really enjoyed it. That was sort of my introduction into being a race director within iRacing. And then in 2013... Go ahead.
Hold on, Nurse Bobby. We're in the middle of an interview, bud.
Anyway,
go ahead.
Sorry. Anyway, in 2013, I started. We ran something called the Northwest Indy 500. So I'm from the Northwest Club. I'm in Washington State, and we ran an event just for that Northwest Club called the Indy 500. You may have heard of it. And it was great. It was a cool event. Everybody loved it. And so in 2014. So 9 years ago now, we started a full series of events that were just majors. So like Daytona 500, Indy 500, Spa, 2.4, Le Mans, Bathurst 1000. You get the idea. We did that about 10 to 14 races every year, starting in 2014.
How does one get into that? Is that like a pro event, or is that open to anybody? How would somebody follow into that? That wants to do that?
Yeah, it's an open league. It's an open series. If you go to our website at majorseries.com, you can find out all about it. Again, we've existed for 9 years. We are, I think we're the largest private league on iRacing. And we certainly have the most participation weekly. I mean, we just ran. So things that we're pretty proud of is that we like to do fun off the beaten path events as well as the big ones, but just sort of that remember, that's my dog, sorry, that remember old school races. So we did the Jimmy Bryan 200 today.
Right.
We had 250 people participate in a Lotus 79 race at Phoenix. So we like to bring attention
to Old Phoenix
to
or the new one?
Old Phoenix.
Okay.
Old Phoenix, of course, legacy. We ran the Copper World Classic in the Silver Crowns in 2018. Same track, obviously with different cars. Had similar type of attendance. So those are the kind of things we like to do. We do some of the biggest events, and then we do some of the forgotten events.
That's nice. I mean, at least that's, people have a venue they can go to. Now, you mentioned your 24-hour race. What was that race again?
It's the Majors 24.
Yeah, and what is that exactly?
So that's sort of an unofficial version of the 24 Hours of Le Mans that'll be coming up on June 4th. This will be the second year that we've run it in place of iRacing being able to do it, since they from a licensing perspective they're not really able to run an officially branded 24 Hours of Le Mans. So we run one that we don't call Le Mans. We just call it the Majors 24.
How's your turnout for that?
Well, last year we had 405 teams take the green.
Wow!
And so just over 1,600 drivers.
Dang, that's
participated.
amazing.
Yeah, it was. We were blown away, honestly, by the desire for people to participate in it. And then we've just been getting hit up like crazy early this year. Are you guys going to run it again? Are you going to run it again? Are you going to run it again? And to be honest with you, I hadn't planned to because scheduling was just not looking good. But we had so many people that wanted us to do it, we decided we were going to find a way. And so on June 4th, we'll be doing it. We've got about 30 teams already signed up. We just opened up registrations. I fully expect we'll have 500 or probably way more than that, but 500 plus teams registered.
Is there an entry fee or anything for that?
So it's kind of like the more you get to know what we do with the Major Series, the Majors Garage, etc. I have a model that I follow all the time, and it's the freemium model basically. So you can always do whatever we do for free, or you can pay an entry fee and you get extras with it. And so the Majors 24 is no different. Anybody can race for free, but You can also pay a $30 entry fee for your team. So that's whether it's 2 drivers or 8 drivers, it's $30. And with that $30, you get things like the ability to be on the broadcast split. So we have a 24-hour broadcast for the race. You have the ability to earn the prizes that we have, things of that nature. So
nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So hey, Mike,
I don't know how many of our listeners know about that. I know I didn't. But that's amazing that you put out that kind of effort just in your shop alone.
Right. Well, I mean, again, the Majors Garage really came along long after the Major Series, and so
okay.
And that's actually how the Majors Garage started, was because of the Major Series. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's segue into that. Okay. So now we have. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say the Majors Garage. I always think of TJ Majors, but it has nothing to do with him, right?
Nothing to do with TJ Majors. I'm a big Junior fan, but no, it has nothing to do with TJ Majors.
Hey, Mike, I got a question for you. So when I did my setup shop review, me and you joked about this one day, but I was doing my review on you guys because I'm doing a setup shop review series in our playlist. If anybody wants to go check that out, and I think you guys were the first one I did. And I was just impressed at the amount of cars that you guys build for me. You got to have a big building staff over there. And I said, you know what? There's got to be something that he doesn't build for, but I can't find it. I was like, I told the people watching the video, I kind of challenged them, hey, if you guys can find out what it is, why don't you put it down in the description below or in the comments below? And I said the same thing to you, and you just blurted them out. There was like a couple of things you guys didn't build for, and I done forgot. But what you guys build for so much. I don't know any other garage or shop or whatever that builds for the number of cars you guys do. So it's easier to list what you don't build for. So Mike, what is it again? What are the few handful of things that you guys don't build for?
Right. Well, you're right. It's only a few. We build 65 cars every week, so a couple. We do have 23 builders on staff. So
23 builders on staff every week.
Yeah, that's nuts.
My word.
65 cars every week. Yeah. So we don't build for the old Ford Mustang, the FR 500. So the road one.
That'd be in the production car challenge races, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
So you still build for the series, you just don't build for that car.
We only build for the MX-5 in that series, but we don't build for any of the other cars because the MX-5 is the most popular one.
Oh, by far.
I've gotten quite a few requests for the Mustang.
You should at least do a base set, I would think. For that.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be a weekly, but a base set would probably be enough, I would think.
That's possible. It falls in line with what we do with our Baseline Plus setups. We could offer a free setup for it for sure.
Well, guys, thanks for sticking with us to the very end. I hope you enjoyed that video and that interview there with Mike Ouellette from Majors Garage. And I appreciate you being with us for this video and watching this short. If you have not done so yet, we ask you hit that subscribe button down below. Much appreciated. Also, there are some affiliate links and discount codes for you down below as well. Go check those out. You can get some discounts on making some purchases. And we have an affiliate link there for Majors Garage. It gets us a small commission when you guys go and purchase anything there at Majors Garage. Just ask you to tune in this Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the channel for our weekly podcast, the Alien Factory Podcast. And this week, our special guest is going to be Tommy Gossett. Tommy is a great driver. He's in the Road to Pro, and right now he's on the bubble at 26th in Road to Pro. He is trying to make it into the Contender Series, so he is going to be our special guest this coming Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Alien Factory Podcast. So tune in. And as always, everyone here at Area 51, appreciate you for tuning in and watching this short video from our last podcast, and we will see you in the next one.